You know, um, my friend Lewis invited me to iGov. It's something that used to be a MySpace, and then they put it on Facebook. And Lewis is a good guy, but he doesn't understand how rotten and despicable most people are. So he invites me, and then not a minute later, I get kicked off of it. I didn't obvious. Oh, I know the little sympathizers for the moderator rapist will say something. Oh, Jim Prophet is so bad. He got banned because he was an asshole. Ugh. I didn't have time to be an asshole. I got banned within the first 5 minutes. The only thing I did was I voted. I voted on what they think the next course of action should be for one of their role-playing bills or whatever. The reason why I joined, or rather accepted the join request by Lewis, was because, I wanted to illustrate an idea I had for a political party. I figured it was a good chance to, get on my soapbox and represent myself in how I think a new political party should be. And I was going to call it the End of the World Party. Now, a lot of people have this idea in their heads that the End of the World Party believes that the end of the world is coming. How naive. No, I don't believe the end of the world is coming. What I do believe is that the end of the world should come. There's a big difference. And if we can work toward the end of the world, metaphorically speaking, that'd be a great thing. Think about all the situations where, you imagine end of the world scenarios where the Earth is shattered by an asteroid, or there is nuclear fallout and it turns into some dystopian wasteland, or a zombie apocalypse, or something like that. That isn't really the worst thing that could happen to humanity. I mean, if the worst thing that can happen to humanity is reverting back to a more primitive state of, survival of the fittest and, sticking to your own and shooting your way to food and resources, hey, it's not moving forward, but it's definitely not moving backward in stagnation. It's simply nature. And nature is cruel. Nature is death. Nature smells. Nature is terrible. But it's still better than what we have now. And, it just... I don't know how to word this, but essentially, the End of the World Party is not my personal beliefs implemented. It is the compromise I am willing to make with reactionaries and with people that fail to comprehend the communist platform. The End of the World Party would be a moderate party, because it would be the party that suggests that, if we cannot make humanity better, we're not going to allow it to get worse. If humanity cannot move forward and be an altruistic, reasonable, positive force in the universe, then fuck humanity. We hope for the end of the world. God hates you. So I think that could work out pretty good. I think it would appeal to the nihilists and to the Westboro Baptist churches and, to others that see that the world is full of despicable and good-for-nothing people. And that if we can't have the cake, then the cake is a lie. And no one's going to have fucking cake. Like I said on 4chan, if I can't have how did I word it? I don't want cheeseburger unless all can have cheeseburger. Or something to that effect. Essentially, I was saying that, to unban me would go against my principles. I don't care that I got banned personally. I care that you think that you can ban people. I care that you think that you have some kind of legal or moral right to censor people and to suppress opinion and to control the demographic and to treat people like shit when they did nothing to you or to your community. That's what pisses me off. And this idea that somehow you can make it better just because you unban me, I'm not that selfish. I'm not that short-sighted. It doesn't matter. My personal squabbles, my personal plight is not what's important. It's the principle of the matter. So until you're willing to unban everybody, I don't want to be unbanned. And I will fight to continue to force you to unban everybody. So don't give me this bullshit about how, I'm just this selfish moron that, thinks the world revolves around him, and that, I want special treatment. I don't want special treatment, but I know how people should be treated. I want positive treatment, along with everybody else. And that's why I don't tell Steve my IP address. Not only because I'm not stupid enough to give that out, but because if I don't tell him my IP, he cannot unban me. He would be forced to unban every single IP address to get to me. And that way, people keep pestering him about it, and that way people keep posting the bronies and the porn and the bullshit and just aggravate the shit out of him until he cooperates. Because it isn't about me, it's about the principle. So, until he understands that, which he probably won't, and that's why we have to apply force, things are never going to change, So that's what I'm trying to get across by the End of the World Party. The End of the World Party would not be something that suggests that the end of the world is a good thing in and of itself, but it's the second best choice. It is Plan B. It is Plan B if we cannot have positive control over our environment. If we cannot evolve beyond this, self-mandated, murderous, rape mentality of fucking people over and a few select people being able to control everything, then we want the end of the world to happen. And I have my own personal methods that I believe would work in ending the world. And it's nothing catastrophic. It's nothing fantastic. It's not like I'm building a laser to blow up the moon. It's the little things. Steal office supplies at work. Just refuse to listen to your boss when he tells you to do something. Do the bare minimum. Do things that would prevent you from getting fired because you're no good to anybody destitute and without a job. But at the same time, don't actually do your work. Don't be productive. That way things are undermined. That way things get worse, and eventually they get unstable, and then it all falls apart. And there you go. You've just become the perfect candidate for the End of the World Party. And I call it that to be flamboyant. I call it that to be eccentric. But essentially, it's just the nihilist party. It's just, things suck, people suck, and the only way it's going to get better is if we're negative about it. The only way it's going to get better is if we apply force, if we, become insolent, if we refuse to listen to them, we do not compromise with them, we just keep moving forward, stomping our feet, making a bunch of noise, and just, make them go crazy. That's it. I'm not going to argue this point. And like I said, it's not personally what I would want. I would want humanity to move forward. I would want us to be a wonderful species that actually cares about the struggles of every living thing and wants to improve the conditions not just of ourselves individually, not just of ourselves as a species, but everything. We want to commit to good for the sake of good, and that it is about the principle, and that everything should be entitled to life, happiness, freedom, equality, and justice. But, most people are not on board with that. It's not because it's impossible. It's not because it goes against human nature. It's because right now, human nature is dictated by a bunch of evil pieces of shit. It's dictated by perverts, liars, and murderers. And, human nature is a blank slate. Human nature is molded by those strong enough to get in positions of power and then do the shaping. And unfortunately, the people that are in power, shaping the minds of the entire human demographic, are evil. They are the evilest people on earth. And, they're cunning, they are ruthless, they are willing to kill you over the slightest little thing, and nobody knows who they are. They're faceless, they live far away, they have thousands of different hierarchies, and, when you think you got into them, it's not really the boss, and it's just this multitude, these levels upon levels of evil. Bernie Madoff is not the big bad evil guy. Freddie Mac is not the big bad evil guy. Walmart is not the big bad evil guy. They are certainly bosses. Think of it like a video game. They are bosses, but they are not the boss. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't know who the boss is. Some people think it's the Jews. Some people think it's the Illuminati. Some people think it's the devil. It might be some combination thereof. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's not even a living person or a living entity. Maybe it's just an idea that has laid dormant in the minds of humanity for eons, since our most primitive evolutionary state, where we decided that in order to best survive, we had to be evil. And it just grew worse from there. It got infected. It swelled. It became this pussy mass. And it just, possessed us and turned us into this demonic entity. But, I'm not suggesting that we go after the big bad, because what is that? Where is that? All these people telling you they know don't know shit. They're a boss too. David Icke, Alex Jones, they are evil too. They are leading you astray. They are leading you into a bottomless pit of despair and paranoia and stupid bullshit that isn't even true half the time. And they take you for a ride. They ask for your money. You pay them to hear them talk out their assholes. And then they treat you like shit. How dare David Icke or Alex Jones tell me I can't post at their forum when they are outright lying? They are committing libel against their politicians and against other people because of, their own paranoia and their own little stories they've concocted. How is it David Icke is allowed to get away with calling the Queen a reptilian alien, but I can't have my own opinion on the internet? How does that make any sense? Why should he get to, spew the bullshit he does, but I can't talk on the internet? That makes no sense. You can't explain that. And it just, you're stupid. If you don't see it, you're fucking stupid. I don't care about you. Die. And, especially the David Icke and Alex Jones fans and shit, because you talk about the Illuminati and crap, and you don't know anything. You don't know that evil goes well beyond some secret society, some, group of people that worship the devil or whatever. Do you really think that is necessary? Do you really think those guys have your best interests at heart when they're making all that money and they have all that fan base and they're willing to censor you? They don't care about you. They don't care. And if they don't care about you, why are you listening to them? And, if they don't care about what is their principle? Because, I'm not telling you that everybody has to love each other and that, we have to hold hands and crap. But what is their principle? What are they after? I know what I'm after. I'm after a better world. What are Alex Jones and David Icke after? What are they doing this for? Are they doing this to somehow expose these people? But why are they exposing them? Do they care that much about humanity? Do they care that much about the principality of justice and righteousness and the holy God? I don't think so. They don't seem to give off that vibe. Maybe they might be bitter. Maybe they're bitter that they are not the Illuminati and figured they would devote their lives to trying to undermine them because they're jealous. But that's probably the best they can do, is that they're the lesser evil, and that by devoting their lives to undermining these worse guys, that somehow we should look up to them. But meanwhile, they treat you like shit. Don't trust in David Icke and Alex Jones. Even when they're correct, they would still fuck you over. They can be right they can be right and still be wrong. They can be right and still be bad people. And they are bad people. Anyone that would censor you is a bad person. Anyone that would suppress you, suppress your thought and your voice, is a bad person. And you know what? David Icke should have his kids taken away from him. Alex Jones needs to just get a fucking heart attack and die. And I have no respect for them whatsoever. I hate them. I hate them with every fiber of my being. And, if ever this end of the world party were to take off, they'd have no place in it. I'd want them to end first and foremost. So, that's all I have to say for right now. I just can't believe how idiotic people are and how evil they are. They love evil. They love getting killed. They love getting raped and destroyed. They love being enslaved. If they didn't, this shit would bother them more. If they didn't, they'd be more prone to listening and be willing to listen, because I'm not telling you what to do. I am just speaking out, and if you so happen to listen and agree, hey, good for you. I'm not telling you how to think. I am telling you what is, and if you continue down the road you will be destroyed, and you will either be destroyed by the Illuminati, or the devil, or the Jews, or David Icke and Alex Jones, or just the 1%, AT&T, Walmart, McDonald's, or just some revolutionary that wants to make positive change, and you're getting in the fucking way. You need to figure out where you stand in life. So, I'm not here to try to convert you. I'm not here to try to persuade you. I don't care about you, but at least I have enough dignity and morality to just come out and say that. They don't, because they want you to support them, because they want to build themselves up to be the big bad evil guy. So, I'm repeating myself here. I'll make another video later on, probably. See you later.